Hey everyone, it's Chris here from Everyday Survival Gear, and today I bring you the review of the Utorch UT02. Well, I thought I was supposed to be in high mode, but that didn't really work. There we go, that's higher. Yeah, it's basically a 26650 or a 18650 with the adapter, 700 meter, 1300 lumen thrower. Let's get the review started. Alright guys, so in front of me is the Utorch UT02. As you can see, it's a very nice looking flashlight. It looks cool, like sleek and semi-compact. I'll show you it compared to my hand. So you can see it's not huge, and then again, it's not really tiny, but it is small. I would call it technically a medium-sized flashlight. First of all, I'll show you what it came with. Obviously, you get the Utorch UT02, you get the lanyard. Stop rolling around please. You get the instruction manual, you get a USB 2 micro USB charging cable, I should say, because it's got an inbuilt charger, and you get a spare O-ring, and it actually comes in a pretty nice looking box. Can I adjust this up? Utorch UT02, which I might actually put this in the background because it actually looks nice like that. Yeah. So now we'll run through the specs, and I'm going to go chase down that O-ring that I just blew away. Okay, so I just got disrupted, and let's start again. It's getting pretty late, so I better rush this. This was sent to me by Gearbest. You can only purchase it from them, so I'll leave a link in the description, and if you want one, you can follow that. We'll start out with the specs like usual. The UT02 uses a Cree XHP35HI, which is basically a 4-die 12 volt LED. So obviously the Utorch UT02 uses a boost driver to convert amps to volts, so that's how you get it running at 12 volts. The actual LED itself is only running at about 1 amp, maybe a little bit over, but at that 1 amp rating it makes about 1300 lumens. So my tower cap rating was about 3.6 amps. So yeah, I'll show you a ceiling bounce test, and we will compare it to a few other lights and see how it does against them. Max lumens 1300 lumens, max beam intensity 124,000 CD, max beam distance 700 meters, working voltage 2.8 to 4.3. The USB charger is 2 amp charging, so it's basically, this torch is made to fit a 26650, but it does come with the adapter, which I didn't show you guys, but it does come with the adapter. So you're better off charging a 26650 at 2 amps than an 18650, because that's a little bit too much power for a 18650. Driver circuit PFM/PWM synchronous boost intelligent conversion circuit intelligent lithium battery charger design. So basically it'll have 2 separate driver units, one for the charger, and then they will kind of meet, and then you'll have one for the driver itself to drive the LED. Basically like any other torch, that's how most torches do it. Not many of them have actual inbuilt chargers that are inbuilt to the actual circuit itself. You get an aluminium reflector, aero grade aluminium alloy, type 3 premium hard anodized anti-abrasive surface, clicky switch. Yeah, basically the UT02 comes with 5 standard modes and then 2 hidden. So you get low mode. Is it even on? Yeah, that's on. And then you'll get medium 1. What am I doing? Low mode is 15 lumens for 100 hours. Medium 1 is 100 lumens for 12 hours. Then you have medium 2, 300 lumens for 5.2 hours. Then you will have high, 650 lumens for 3.1 hours. And then you have last mode, turbo, 1300 lumens for 1.25 hours. My light is pretty dusty because I just painted a desk in my room, and it made it dusty because the dust catcher was on the sander, but it still blew all the dust everywhere, which was great. So they reckon it's shock resistant to 1.5 meters. Because it's got a boost driver, I wouldn't go testing that. They're a bit funny. Usually the boost circuit is the biggest circuit on the driver board, So if you bump it too many times, it might fall off. I've had that happen before. And it's IPX7 rated, which is always great. Those figures are all ANSI rated, FL rated lumens, using a 3.7 volt 5200 milliamp hour battery. They say way power 26650. Alright guys, so the UI is super easy. Basically you soft click, so you quickly click. That'll give you moonlight mode, then you push and hold to turn off. And then you long click to get your last use mode, which for me was moonlight mode anyway. But let's just say for sake of this, we'll leave it on high mode. We'll switch and turn off. So it's got a memory mode, and then you push and hold, which did not work, which is always great, isn't it? No, it did. Whoops, because it's so bright that I couldn't even see it. Yeah, so that's basically the UI. Okay, alright, to access Strobe and SOS, you've got to double click, and that'll get you in there from off. And then you can also save them as saved memory modes. So I'll click it on now. That should be SOS, which is at 100 lumens. And then click again, and then you'll get Strobe. So both of these are actually save settings, because if I turn it off again, then I turn it back on, you'll see it's back on Strobe. And then when I want to get back to my normal settings, double click, and then I'm back to my normal settings. As you can see, I just turn that off, normal settings, and then we can double click again, and then I'm back to Strobe. The UI is pretty simple actually. It's pretty good. I'm not going to use the strobe settings that much, but they may come in handy one time. Alright, now we'll just do the usual. I'll show you around the flashlight. It's got a little lanyard loop there. You can tail stand this pretty easy. So obviously it's a side switch flashlight. The switch is here. My switch feels a little bit like clicky. It kind of feels like not really jammed, but I don't know, it's kind of hard to explain. It's kind of like, feels like when you're pushing it, it's not rubber, it's hard plastic. That's what I should be saying. It still works, but stainless steel around there. I'll turn that off. The knurling is all really good, nicely cut, it's all very smooth. Cooling fins here. You get the 2 amp charger here. Undo that. That's the port there, it's covered, so it's waterproof. It's probably got dust on it. You get the AR coated glass. XHP35 in there. If we take this apart now, I'm running it on an 18650. You get the 18650 adapter, which I didn't actually include before. We'll have a look around. All the threads are really nicely cut. Double springs on the back, and also double springs on the front. There we go. And you can see like the knurling is all really nicely cut. Threads are nicely cut too. We'll put it back together and then we'll pull it apart again. Alright, so I've got a USB charger out here. It's plugged in, you can see. And I don't know if you can see that, but it's got a red light there, which shows that it's running. So the red light means it's charging, I should say. And once the charge is complete, the light turns blue. And it also has a purple light which comes on when you're playing with the switches. I think when it's in a standby style mode, it switches on to a purple light. Alright, so in front we have lined up the Convoy L2, which is a dedicated thrower. The Utorch UT02, which is also a dedicated thrower. And the Convoy C8, which compared to these two would be a EDC light, kind of. It's not really a thrower, then it's not really a flutter, it's kind of in between. It is more throw heavy, but of course, as we all know. So we'll put them down like so. This Utorch is going to roll over and roll into everything. Actually, the L2 might also. Alright, so you can see there the size difference between them all. Obviously, the L2 is the biggest, then the UT02 is in the middle, then the C8. Throw-wise stock, because of the extra output that you get from the XHP35HI, basically it's going to outthrow the L2, or at least throw to a comparable amount. We'll run over the weight and whatnot of the UT02. So its length is 14.8 millimeters, its head diameter is 59 millimeters, its body diameter is 35 millimeters, and its weight without the battery is 290 grams. Now, depending on whether you use a 26650 or a 18650, will depend on its overall weight, but you're looking around about 400 grams total if you're using a 26650. But then again, you do get a lot longer runtime. Because mine's drawing on turbo 3.6 amps at the tail cap, you'll be looking about an hour and a half runtime on turbo with a 26650, and this light does not heat up at all. It stays cool the whole time, so I should see no reason why you shouldn't be able to run this light on turbo for most of the time. I haven't seen any step down from it, so it should be pretty sweet to run. Alright guys, so in front of me we got the reflector of the L2 and the C8. I'll undo the UT02 and we'll check it out. It kind of tightens up on the inside of the light too, kind of like a Eagle Eye X6, or the BLF X6 I should say. So it tightens up like so. So you got to tighten the reflector in and you got to unscrew it. It's pretty easy light to get apart. That's the XHP35 there. That is the reflectors all against each other. So you can see it's not too much smaller than the Convoy L2. A tad, but not heaps. But they are both a lot bigger than the Convoy C8. Actually, this is an Ultrafire C8, but it's got a Convoy C8 reflector in there that I put in, and it's also got a coated glass of C8. Look at that. I decked this cheapo C8 out. That's the LED centering ring, and this is the LED itself. You can see the solder job's actually really well, and if you look there to the right, this side here, and it's hard to do on the camera, you can see that there is a lot of thermal paste there, and that yeah, that they use a lot of thermal paste. I don't know what else to say besides that. It's starting to get pretty dark now because I had to wait because people were outside talking. So yeah, I know I probably forgot something because I had to rush this, but I'll go through the video quickly and hopefully I didn't, and we'll take these outside, all of these actually, and I'll show you the beam shots on the wall, yeah, and we'll compare the throw and the output. Also, I forgot to mention, mine is the 5000K tint, so it either comes in a 6500K tint or a 5000K tint. How did I know I was gonna friggin' forget something? Alright, I wrote down my own specs that they don't give you. Alright, so the battery tube is 75 mils, so basically you should be able to fit in all cells, even protected 26650s. My Thorfire 26650 protected cells do fit. Should be pretty cruisy there. The lens is 55 mils in diameter. The lens thickness is 2 millimeters. The reflector is 52.5 millimeters in diameter, so crossways. Take that with a grain of salt because my calipers are modded by me, so they might not be the best. I took out the old battery and I put in a AA. The driver is 30 mils in diameter, so you're going to need a 30 mil driver or maybe 17 mils and then use an adapter because the driver appears to be press fitted. And the MC PCB where the LED sits is 30 mils in diameter, and I'm pretty sure it's made out of copper when I was looking at it. I haven't actually taken that out but to tell you 110%, but yeah, that's, I believe, all the specs. I already went over and said that my one is the 5000K tint. If you want a little bit of extra throw and output, you're better off getting the 6500K tint, just to push you over the edge. Or mine, I might even end up modding, because it's got an electronic switch, because it's a side switch, electronic switch. It's going to be a bit of a pain in the ass to mod, but I will get a driver made for it and then mod it. It's always easier to do something like this. Alright guys, enough blabbering on. Let's take them outside and see how they do. What a friggin' headache. all these people watching me, people talking, dogs barking, aircraft going over, and friggin' everything. And then now, yeah, it's too much work. I quit. Alright, so the reason why I'm not actually inside the shed is because light is pretty dim inside there, and I got a whole bunch of wood. But I would prefer to be inside the shed because my neighbors have been looking at me this whole time, and I really hate doing reviews while people are watching me. That's why I had to wait for my family to leave. Ah, damn it. Alright guys, so this is the Convoy L2 on its highest mode. It does have a very tight hotspot in the middle, which you can't really see because the camera doesn't distinguish it. But if we put the L2 against the UT02, so now you can see they kind of like evened out in the camera. Fairly close. You can see the L2 is just a tad tighter for the hotspot, but you would be expecting that because of the L2 does have a much bigger beam. On the ceiling bounce test, the UT02 rips it, but this looks almost as bright because it's a cold white tint on the L2. Alright, now we'll try the C8 with the XPG3 and we'll see how that does. Alright guys, to the left is the C8 with the XPG3, and to the right is the Utorch UT02. You can see the Utorch is much tighter, so it's going to go a lot further. But actually this C8, because it's so bright overall, it actually does throw very far. Even though, yeah, the hotspot isn't quite twice as big, but almost there. Alright, now we'll try the Eagle Eye X6 with the XPL-HI and see how that does. Alright, Eagle Eye X6 to the left, you can easily tell, and the Utorch UT02 to the right. In the first test I should have said the Convoy L2 was on first, but I guess that I did say the L2 was on first, so it's on the left side. You can see the hotspot on the Eagle Eye X6 isn't actually super bigger, but it is bigger. So if we turn up the brightness, you'll see there is like quite a difference in the hotspots. The Eagle Eye X6 is still not really a dedicated thrower, but it does throw pretty far. Let me turn it up so you can see it there. So you can see there still is a little bit of a difference. Now it's enough mucking around, let's take this thing for a spin. Alright guys, as you can see the Utorch UT02 is on. It's on low mode, 15 lumens, which lasts 100 hours. It's still kind of bright, I can still see it moving around, and you can see it too on the camera. So it's bright enough, and because it's so throwy, it looks a little bit brighter. Alright, then we got mode 2, which is medium mode, which is 100 lumens for 12 hours. You can see that's already like a lot brighter. So that was medium mode 1. Next up is medium mode 2, which is 300 lumens for 5.2 hours. You can already see that it's lighting up my whole backyard pretty good. And we'll try it at the tree at 100 meters and see how it does on medium mode. Yeah, makes it there. Not the brightest, but it does make it there pretty easy. Would be expected actually, because it does go 700 meters. Okay, next up is high mode, 650 lumens for 3.1 hours. You can see it is a fairly bright light. We'll try it now at the tree at 100 meters. Easily does it. You can even see that on camera like cruisy. And then we got high mode, 1300 lumens for 1.25 hours. We'll try it at 100 meters and see how it does. That's how good it lights up the tree at 100 meters. You can see it like clear like daytime. Very good. Even though I stuffed up my reflector. So you can see it is a super throwy light. It's actually playing with the camera because it's reflecting off the white wall there. If I shine it here, you'll see how much glare you get. Even though mine is the 5000K tint, you still do get glare because it's so throwy. Alright, I'll grab the Convoy L2 and we will compare them. Alright guys, we've got the Convoy L2 on to the right and the Utorch to the left as always. If we compare them now, you'll see the Utorch is much brighter, even though the hotspot on the L2 is a little bit more intense. And being the cold white, it does appear to be more intense anyway. Overall output of the Utorch isn't like crazy amount more, because the L2 should be doing about 1000 lumen stock, somewhere around about there, but it does do enough that you can see the difference quite easy. We'll try them both at 100 meters. So that's the L2 at 100 meters there, and that's the UT02 at 100 meters. Now both of them. So you can see they both throw pretty good. It'll be hard to tell which one will outthrow whichever one stock. I reckon they'll do about the same. We'll put on the C8 with the XPG3 next. Alright guys, there's not going to be a comparison here because this C8 is like super bright. Let me just show you. Like, I will reflect it here and look at that. That's crazy bright. It puts out a lot of power. That's why there's a substantial lux difference in the ceilings bounce test. But that should be the Utorch UT02 to the left and the Convoy C8 XPG3 direct drive to the right. Obviously hotspots are going to be tighter on the UT02. Yeah, the C8 just stepped down, as you can see, and even when it stepped down, it appears it's not quite as bright as the UT02, but almost. We'll put it back up. Probably next week or the week after, I'll make a video of these two and all the other throwers going at it at distance, and we'll see how they all do. Alright, last one up, we'll put the Eagle Eye X6 up and we'll see how it does. Alright guys, we've got the Eagle Eye X6 with the XPLHI direct drive 3000K tint, and we'll put the Utorch on. Whoops. Alright, so you can see the Utorch will easily outthrow the Eagle Eye X6, of course. The Eagle Eye X6, even though we've got almost the same lux reading from the ceiling bounce test, I think it is substantially brighter because this thing is an absolute monster. They both actually do a pretty good job of lighting up my backyard. You can see the tint difference here if I put them on the floor. There's like 2000K difference in tint here. And the Eagle Eye X6 just stepped down. So that pretty much sums up this review, guys. Yeah, like, I really like the Utorch UT02. It's probably my second thrower after the Convoy L2. I was actually going to turn my Convoy L2 into what this light is, with an XHP35HI and single cell, but I ended up losing the emitter. I still might do it, I'll see what will happen. Because I scratched the lens in this light now, I'm going to try and fix it somehow, and we'll see what happens. Alright guys, this has been Chris from Everyday Survival Gear, bringing you the review of the Utorch UT02. I hope you enjoyed it. I had fun making it, and as always, like and subscribe, and thanks for watching, guys.